are doing this video based on a man that left Christianity. And you know, he left Christianity and he stands in an utmost strong conviction. I think it's the strongest conviction I've seen by an individual in years, really years. And while I don't take his stand, I have a thing about people that can stand up for what they believe. And every time I find myself in a wrong situation where people cannot stand up for what they believe, stand up for the right thing, stand up for the truth, and then you know you're standing up for people in the world where situations are concerned, and then you come now and you come into Christianity and you realize that the same foolishness and injustice and flesh thing that people do in the world is the same thing people doing in this Christian walk, boy. You know, people shutting down a man because they realize what's going on. You're hearing ministers, and I mean no disrespect to nobody, truth is the truth. You're hearing ministers saying, you see, we can't elevate because he go give you trouble, when really and truly is because the man have a mind of his own. The man have a mind that he allowing God to use his mind based on his life and based on the experiences that he would have. Because let me tell you something that I come to conclude, and a lot of people don't realize it. The most valuable thing you have outside here is experience. Because experience has built reputation. And people just gravitate towards reputation. A man that is a murderer, he have a reputation. Because now all the time he could get catch. A man that practicing now to be a gunman, to be an assassin, he building a reputation because more people he kill is more the police try to catch you, more howsoever it go. So he had to think and he had to keep thinking. And a man who is a professional mechanic or a professional tailor or a professional anything, you going by he based on his experience. Because you want to know that you're in good hands. The Christian fraternity is the only place that people just want to use your reputation conveniently. So you want a preacher that could draw people to your church Thanksgiving, you bring a reputable preacher. After that, you don't want he, you know. You don't want nothing to do with he because you really don't like he. You don't like his style, but he popular. So you go send an invitation and he go come because he's a servant. Because that is how he build his reputation. You see, but you ain't gonna really want a revelator, you know. Because a revelator will come and open all your business. All them things you hide down when the thing get nice. That's what revelator does do. You see, you cannot not be a revelator when you're a revelator. You cannot not be a seer when you're a seer. You cannot not be a prover. In other words, you can't conveniently be what people want. And this is where the thing does get different, because when the things start to get different is when people start to realize here what's going on. I can't just pull everything over your eye because your eye don't really get closed. Your eyes closed but you're still seeing. In other words, things that you don't know, you still get revelation for it. And this is one of the things that in this spiritual walk, you see, this spiritual walk, if you can't deal with that, then watch me, this walk is not for you. Because hypocrisy, envy, jealousy, and these kind of things, deceit, it's all wrong. And I don't feel I'm knocking Christianity because it's not in the world. It's in the world. But you see the nature, when you're a place where real goodness trying to strive, real goodness, peace, unity, all them thing, is where the works of the flesh had a challenge, you know. That is why it have football competition to see who is the best. All them players good. but they still want to know who is the best. They're not satisfied with being the best players in the country that come together from the different leagues in the country, and they choose a team from that. They still don't want it to be, we have the best South American team. We want to be we own team to go and beat the rest of the world. We can't be the best African team alone. Or we can't be the best African team, the best Nigerian team, or the best Kenyan team. We want to beat the world. And that is what I'm talking about. You want to be the best at something you don't really need to be the best in. But people just thrive off of that. People just get a high, the adrenaline rush. You know that, right? Everybody wants this additional adrenaline rush because it always has something more we want or something we need to know. You know, so I want to salute the soldiers and them that do stand up for, you know, you don't fall for anything, you just stand up. You see when you just stand up for things, yeah, that means you're not really afraid of consequences. You see, because people don't like to not be accepted. People find they must always be accepted. You're kissing people behind, you know. Yeah, because anything they tell you to do, you're doing because why? You want to be favored. And then when you go out and you go in, there's a difference between identifying people that are willing to serve and a difference between people that serving to be appreciated by man. And that has been the sad part, is that people just use you conveniently. You know, I was telling somebody, Israeli, you know, if your church have 50 people, Israeli, 5, 6 of them already keeping the church together, where the administrative, the cleaner, the church putting the church together. Because it's a lot of people in church, that is all they do, they come to church. And that is one of the things that does bring the big challenge. And that way people just leave church. People just leave church because we only want to recognize the mother and the elder. I was talking to a spiritual brother and he said that, you know, we want to recognize those that help from the foundation of this thing. And I tell myself, I love that. You see, once it's good, I no problem that it didn't come from me. And that would have happened with a lot of leaders and mothers. If it ain't come from them, they can't accept it. You know, this, even though this fitting in here, I just want to add this to the equation. It's relevant, you know. You know, I remember when I was younger, I was playing football in Sapphire with Spurs. Young, under 18, I think it was. There was this guy who was injured. And because he had more presence and he and them was more friend, they wanted him to start the game. And after they called the team, they asked if anybody have anything to say. I said, well, yeah, me. And they said, what you have to say? I said, well, all you're going to start with an injured man. Because I observed the man. I know the injury the man have. I said, well, let's start with a healthy man. And when let's start with the healthy man, or let's see what the healthy man could give, so you know if we have a good plan B then. And the coach find I shouldn't say that. Maybe in front of everybody I said that he didn't like that. So he told me, he said, well, Alwyn, that man you want to start, well, you come off the team and give him your position. I tell him, that's all right, no problem. And he couldn't stand that either. Now, one thing about me, I am good at things that I do. Because why? When I'm doing something, I just try to be the best. I just put out the best. And I come off the team, they take me off the team and they put the man on. And the game start. And when the game start, in 5 minutes time, the man they put on with the injury got knocked. So he started limp on the field. In 10 minutes time, they had to take him off the field. They're so ashamed they never put him on yet. They let the whole first half done. When the second half start and they realize it's more jamming, they saw a man and they put him on. And you know what? I saved the day. Because I am a defender and I stop the goal from scoring and I make the pass for the men to score the goal. And I didn't want no fame, I didn't want no fortune, I didn't want no thanks and praise, but I stand up. And you see, time to stand up for what you believe. It doesn't matter what people